Hello, Pisces loves. For today's reading, we will be creating a soul activation message that is meant to activate your soul in relation to anything that you are working through at this time. And for today's reading, we are using the Beyond Lemuria Oracle cards, and I'm so excited and grateful to share this deck with you all because this is a deck that I have spent some time working with, actually quite a while now, getting familiar with and just getting acquainted with. And it's one of those decks that I really wanted to keep to myself because the illustrations are just so beautiful and powerful and activating, and it just felt really sacred to me. But over these past few weeks, I've been feeling really guided to create these soul activation readings for all the signs. And so I'm really excited and grateful to be here with you today to share these activation messages of guidance. So let's go ahead and get into it and let's see what your messages of guidance are for today. All right, we've got two there. So I'm just going to pull one more oracle card and then we will get into your messages. I feel like this one wants to come out too. So you're the first sign to get an extra card there. So let's see what your cards are. So we have 53, transformation. We've got heart chakra, unfurling back to love. Ooh. All right. We also have 44, shine your light. Okay, let's see what else we've got here. We've got 39, our ancient future. Ooh, I love this. This is actually the cover photo for the deck box in the book. So I love that one. And let's see what your extra card is. Okay, you have 23, endless opportunities. And we'll just place that down there. Let's make sure that you can see all your cards here. Okay. Okay, so let's see what your messages are here. So I feel here, Pisces, you are very intuitive, okay? You know this. You are a deeply divine being. You are connected to the ethereal. You are connected to spirit. You are connected to your heart center, your soul, okay? But I feel like for some of you, there's this energy coming through where you may have felt as though you've gotten away from that, okay? I feel like for some of you, you are meant to be sharing your gifts with this world, but you've gotten away from that, okay? And Pisces, I know it hurts. I know being in this world is hard. It's heavy. It's challenging, especially when I feel like this energy coming through where it's like you have beautiful divine soul gifts and it's going to be unique to everybody. For some, it could be that you're a healer. Maybe you're an astrology reader, a psychic. For some of you, you're an artist. You're meant to be creating art and sharing your art, your creative gifts with the world around you. For some of you, you're writers. You're meant to be creating stories, sharing your words of wisdom. For some of you, you could be a dancer. You're meant to be dancing, showing other people the magic of dance. Musicians, creating music, sharing your song with the world. But this energy that's coming through here, it feels like you've had to allow yourself to be succumbed by the systems of this world. And so what I'm seeing specifically is like you are maybe in a 9-to-5 job, or you have like maybe many different jobs just to try to keep things afloat, trying to keep yourself physically supported in this world, in this earthly realm. But you have the means to get yourself out of those spaces. You have this ancient wisdom about you, and you're also being gifted with many different opportunities to connect with your innate gifts, your innate powers, the things that light you up, the things that fill you up. I do feel here it's like your perspective is a little bit clouded because you just keep focusing on the downfall energy. I don't want to say downfall, but like you keep focusing on the aspects of this world and the systems of this world that you do not like in a negative light. Okay, like you just keep asking yourself, like, why do I have to do this in this way? And Spirit's actually coming in and saying, like, you don't have to do that in those ways. And they're trying to show you how much you don't have to do it in the ways that you're doing it. And it starts by connecting with your heart center. But I feel like the attachments that you're creating, when it comes to your perspective around these systems that you're focusing on, they're like starting in your mind. And you're just kind of like being in your head a lot about these systems and these structures and these organizations, the company, the way of life, and how it is today. But Spirit, your heart center, your higher self, God, Goddess, Mother Earth, Gaia, they are trying to help you transform and transmute this energy to bring you back to your divine gifts, your divine wisdom, your soul codes, and to show you that you have options. And what I'm seeing here is you were actually meant to work in the ways that you've been working in this world. You're meant to go through those challenging experiences of working for the system, working like the 9 to 5, or working in those jobs and careers that you just absolutely hate, so that you can see how those structures operate. And now that you're really starting to be fed up with it, overwhelmed by it, wanting to be done with it, you're meant to come back into your spiritual, artistic, creative gifts, soul gifts, and you're meant to sort of merge the two together. Okay, so Spirit's saying here, like, you're not going to fully get away from those systems that you don't like operating in, but you're not meant to. You're meant to kind of merge the gap between what you don't like about it versus the gifts that you have, the power that you have, and you're meant to help create change within those systems in connection, like by connecting with your unique spiritual and creative gifts and soul gifts. Okay, and so even though you have these endless opportunities and options, Spirit wants you to really reflect on and think about your divine gifts, your soul gifts, your artistic gifts, your skills, your wisdom, your knowledge that you really want to be connecting with every single day, the things that you really wish to be doing. You know, if you weren't having to show up for this 9 to 5 every day, what would you rather be doing? And they want you to think about those things and ask yourself, how can I carry this energy? How can I bring this energy into my 9 to 5? And for some of you, it's not about like just throwing it in the mix and bringing it to your 9 to 5, but it's also about, you know, asking like, well, if I can't bring it to this specific career field, how can I bring it to another one? How can I choose another one that is more in alignment with these soul gifts, with these creative passions that you have? And how can you merge the two in order to create this balanced energy where you are feeling supported, you are feeling loved, you are feeling held in your spiritual gifts, your heart space, your heart center, but also in the physical world. Okay, love. So this is a very powerful, very healing message coming through for you, Pisces. But it is going to require you to really do some deep reflecting here around what it is that you want to do and how you can make this happen in the world that you live in today. Okay, and I know it's hard. I know it's hard as a healer, as a creative. It's challenging systems and society to navigate, especially when, you know, you just want to be off in the forest doing your own thing, making magic, casting spells, manifesting, creating art, singing your song, singing your music. But just know that when you allow yourself to connect with those parts of you that are so sacred and healing to you and that guide you back to love the things that you actually want to be doing, the path is going to open up. The answers are going to unfold. People are going to be drawn to you because you're living in the truth of what you came here to experience, to create, and to share. All right. But part of your soul mission here is to recreate how these systems are operating. This is also a little similar to what I just shared in Aquarius's reading today, but in a much different light. Because you have like a very soft, ethereal energy about you, Pisces. And that's why this world can be really, really hard. It can be really, like I'm hearing the word brunt, like really forceful, very demanding. And you just have this energy of wanting to just, just let things happen how they happen. You don't want to have to, show up at this time every single day, having to worry about the time. Who wants to worry about the time? You just want to be in your little bubble, creating art, creating magic, writing out the codes that you're receiving, the wisdom that you're receiving, but in some way you are meant to merge the two. You're meant to merge that gap between the two worlds and to show people that there is another way to be able to connect with your creative gifts, your spiritual gifts, and this earthly realm, these earthly systems that have created, and sort of bring transformation to them by showing other people that there is another way. Okay, and so that's why you had to go through those challenging experiences of being in spaces, being in career fields, jobs that you really don't want to be in. Maybe even relationships here too is coming up a little bit. Connecting with people that you really don't want to be connecting with. So that way you can see where change needs to be implemented, where love needs to be returned into certain systems, certain career fields, certain paths in this world. This is really like giving, this deck is called Beyond Lemuria, and this is really like giving the energy of like recreating Lemuria, recreating Atlantis. And this is actually part of the Age of Aquarius, where we are returning to ancient systems that allow us to be in, your own divinity, and to allow yourself to shine your light, to shine your truth of your divinity, your creative expression, and be operating from your heart center and not from your mind center, not from the ego. Okay. Okay, let's see if anything else is coming through here. Oh, wow, I didn't notice, but we have that yin and yang right here. And this is like, I don't know if I said it, but I was like saying like you're meant to create balance. And that's the yin and yang right there. You're meant to create that yin and yang energy, balance, like, quote unquote, the good and evil. Okay, things aren't necessarily good, they're not necessarily evil, but your perception of them are. Like, you have very specific perceptions right now around where things feel bad versus where things feel good and light. And you're meant to kind of merge the two and bring healing to where things feel bad and see the light in those situations, or how you can return the light to those situations. Okay, so numerology here. So we've got 5, 23 adds up to 5. We also have the 5 here. So 5 is about being in the middle of something, being in a transitional phase. We've also got the 4s here, so 4s could be significant to you. And then we have 53 and 23 with the 3s there, okay? So some of you are going to be taking big leaps. I feel like big leaps in your career, because this is very much like a career-based reading here. Oh, we also have the 3 here on the 39. So 3s could be significant to you. Again, 3s were very prominent in Aquarius's reading too. So if you feel called to, if you have, Aquarius placements, especially in your sun, moon, rising signs, you may want to check that out. I'm also feeling called to say your Venus sign. Venus is the love sign, relationship sign. So if you're needing some relationship healing, relationship guidance, check out the reading that is of your Venus sign. Okay. And if you don't know what that means, it's okay. Don't worry about it. Yes. Okay. But 3s are going to be significant to you. And this is your sign that you are not alone. Your ancestors, your soul guides, your spirit guides, God, Goddess is guiding you and helping you to merge this gap that you're bringing balance towards. Okay. So some other symbols, we've got the pearl here. Okay. Pearls are created through a difficult transformation. They have to go through pain, they have to go through turmoil in order to create that beautiful, magnificent pearl. And so that is like the energy that you're in right now. You're going through this struggle, you're going through this challenge because you are birthing a pearl. Okay, you're birthing something magical, something beautiful. And so for you, Spirit's saying, just remember to come back to your heart center, come back to your intuition as you're working through this energy, which you're very intuitive, Pisces, so don't get in your head about these things. All right, don't get too caught up in what you're seeing in the physical, because you are birthing and recreating this transformation of a return to the ancient past into the future. And so it's very important that you stay connected with your heart center and your intuition while you're going through this, because your intuition is speaking to you and it's letting you know that even if things look yucky on the outside, even if things look chaotic on the outside, you are grounded in your truth center, knowing that everything is actually okay and it's all going to work out. All right, let's go ahead and pull your next few cards now. So I'm going to pull some more cards, oracle cards from this deck here. This is the Healing Waters Oracle deck. So let's see what your Healing Waters messages are. Okay, let's see what does Pisces need to know. All right, I'll take this one too. Okay, so because you have this extra card, Spirit saying we're just going to take 2 for you from this deck. So we have the Healing Lagoon, Rejuvenate, Recovery, Time to Heal, It's Safe to Stop. All right, we also have Isle of Avalon. Wow, healing, return to wholeness, and transformation again. Yeah, you're going through a transformation, but not just you, okay? You are bringing transformation to spaces outside of you. You are showing others the way. You are creating a whole new world for others to experience and to embody. And that is significant. That is very powerful, Pisces. You are meant to show others that there is other ways of being than what society believes, what society expects. And so you may come up on these challenging experiences, challenging relationships, because we have relationships kind of trying to come in here where it's like you challenge others because you are very unique. You're very much in this energy of surrender to the flow. You just trust that things will work out how they're meant to work out while you're over here doing your own thing, living it up in the forest, creating your magic, letting the ideas just come to you when they want to come to you, and just really trusting and surrendering to the universe. You're very much always like in this healing energy of like, I'll take a day off here, I'll take a day off there, everything will be fine, everything will work out. Meanwhile, your boss is like calling you on the phone, like, where are you at? Why aren't you here? You're supposed to be here at this time. And you're just like, it's fine. The work will get done. I'll get there when I get there. What's the rush? Slow down. Just be peaceful. Surrender to your heart. You're very much meant to challenge others and show them that things don't always have to be go, 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 go. Things don't have to be so rough. Things don't have to be hard. They don't have to be challenging. There is another way of life, and it's like teaching you and teaching others how to slow down, how to surrender to the true flow of life. So very beautiful energy that you are bringing to others and showing others. And I love that we have Isle of Avalon here too, because just like I said with the return of Lemuria, return of Atlantis, it's also, been prophesized that there's like this return to Avalon, okay? And they're all like really one and the same energies here that we are going to be creating in this age of Aquarius. So if you aren't familiar with that, Spirit's saying to get connected with your intuition and start journaling, or just start reflecting, start going into the meditation spaces that you go into and asking, what do I need to know about the age of Aquarius? What is my soul mission? What are my duties when it comes to the age of Aquarius? Because you have a big soul mission here that you are bringing forth to your communities, to the societies, and to the structures where you are going to be creating a whole new system. Well, Spirit's saying like not whole new systems, but you're creating a new system in connection to the old systems. Like you're not fully crumbling down the old systems, but you're just showing others that there is a different way of doing that. We can be doing this, and it's going to be more supportive and more in alignment with the energy of love, intuition, truth, earth-based energy as well. I feel like there's some messages coming through around being more in connection to the earth and the earth cycles, and protecting the earth, letting others know that it's okay to slow down, just as earth moves at a slower pace than humans are used to moving. And it's really about getting connected and to your body space and really getting out of your mind, getting out of your ego, and coming into a space of surrender and trust and deep reverent connection with the universe and the earth, essentially, because the earth does move at a much slower pace than humans, society, I guess, likes to think it does. All right, let's see if anything else comes up here. So when you need to pause, when you need to take those days off, Pisces, it's okay to take those days off. You know everything will be okay. If your intuition's guiding you to take a day off, surrender and listen to it, because you are a water-based sign. You're very like emotionally charged. You are probably definitely very empathic, and so it's very natural, very normal for you to be taking on a lot of energies at once. So with that being said, also make sure that you're creating these energies of protection, coming back into your body, your heart space, your intuition, and doing things that allow you to express and release any energy that is not yours to be carrying. Okay. That's why Spirit wants you to go into those meditative spaces where you're asking, what is my soul mission for this time, for your life here on earth? Because there is something that you are meant to be sharing and creating here on earth, something you're meant to be bringing change and transformation to. But in order to do that, you have to make sure that your channels are clear and that you're not just constantly absorbing the energy of others or the energy of these systems and structures that you're trying to bring change to. You want to make sure that you're in a clear headed space and that your body is clear and renewed and ready to receive and show up in the ways that you need to show up in order to initiate these changes. Okay, so make sure that you are doing some type of energetic clearing daily. Okay, and so you can do this through visualization, just visualizing your energy being cleared out, prayer work, meditation, also getting into water, taking a shower, taking a bath, once, maybe twice a day, dipping your toes like in the water, letting the water clear your energy fields, and then also getting grounded into your body, calling your spirit, your soul back into your body, making sure that you're in alignment and connected with your intuition and your heart center. And I said soul and it threw me off. Your soul is always in your body, but you're, making sure that your spirit is here in your body and calling that back in. The other message that was coming through around that, I know I said it. Protection and then release. Okay, so if you do tend to, so first you want to be protecting yourself, but then if you do tend to take on energy from others, make sure that you're doing some type of cleansing practice like we just talked about. Okay, I just wanted to make sure that I shared that. I was like, what was the other message? But we talked about it. Okay, so let's go ahead and pull your tarot cards now. So I'm going to pull some tarot cards from this deck here. This is the Tarot of the Divine, and we're just going to pull 2 tarot cards for these readings today. All right, so let's see. Ooh, the cards are like getting all over the place. All right, so I'm just going to shuffle it a couple of times and then we'll pull your card. Okay, go one more shuffle. Shuffle. Okay, wow, we've got 2 right there. Let's see what your cards are. Okay, so we have 4 of coins. And we have Judgment. All right, yeah, so you are definitely in this energy of like judgment where I feel like you have a lot of perceptions around how things are, like we talked about in the beginning, where you're just like in this state of really judging the experiences, the situations that you're in, and possibly really focusing on like the negative aspects of things that you don't like about it. That's why we also have this 4 of coins energy here, where it's like you have all this abundance around you, all these beautiful opportunities surrounding you, all these different possible paths that you can take and pursue, all these different potential connections and relationships that you can be divining with, but you're just really focused on like all the things that you don't like, all the things that don't feel supported. And so Spirit's really guiding you to come back into yourself and ask yourself what will make you feel supported, what will make you feel held, what will make you feel loved in these spaces. And for some of you, if choosing to leave these spaces is an option, it may be time to move along to new spaces. But Spirit's saying that you just want to make sure that you're taking care of yourself and your mental body and your physical body, because it can be very easy for you to just say, well, I'm going to leave this behind, go into the next 9 to 5, and then just hate everything about it too. Or I'm going to leave this relationship, go into the next relationship, and then again, just be focusing on all the things that you don't like, because you're like seeking things outside of you in the external world, when your magic, your power, and the things that connect you back to love, they come from within you. And so that's why you're really being guided to really connect back with yourself, with your heart center, and to ask yourself, what can you offer to these physical spaces, to these relationships that you're connecting with, and get out of this energy of like, well, what are they giving me and why are they not giving me enough? Okay, because I see this energy where it's like it's giving you everything. The universe has given you everything. They've given you the answers, they've given you the tools, the skills, the connections that you need in order to bridge this gap, to bring balance into these systems by offering your divine gifts, your divine magic, your creative abilities. You're just losing sight of that and thinking like, well, I can't do anything, I can't make change. When you can make change, you just have to really come back into your power, step into your power, use your voice, speak your truth, activate that throat chakra there, through getting connected with your heart center, and just knowing that the right people will align with you, they will vibe with you, and they will see things from your perspective if you allow them to. But you have to allow them to, okay? You have to give them grace. You have to let them see you for who you truly are and what you truly have to offer. You don't just have to be taking, especially if it's like you're taking all this shit and crap that you just don't want to be taking on. You can say no to it and say, you know, what if we did this in this way? I think it would make that system work a little bit better, or it would get the job done in a much easier way. Okay. So just know that you are powerful and you do have beautiful, healing, creative gifts. And it's time that you start asking yourself, how can I birth these gifts out into the world, into the communities, into the systems, the companies, the relationships that you are connecting with, in order to create transformation around your perspective and in these physical spaces too. All right, loves. All right, let's go ahead and pull your last card now. So I'm pulling one card from this deck here. This is the Self-Awareness Oracle deck. And these cards have just questions on them. They're like journal prompts, or questions that you can just choose to reflect on in order to help you integrate and work through all of the messages that we talked about in your reading today. All right, and Spirit also wants me to talk a little bit about the symbolism on your tarot cards here. So we've got the monkey. So monkeys could be significant to somebody. I'm not remembering correctly if the monkey is a Chinese zodiac sign, but I'm thinking that it is. And so somebody could be like the monkey in Chinese zodiac. I don't know if that's really an animal in the Chinese zodiac, but if it is, you could be a monkey, or it's like just somebody like calls you monkey. That could be who the relationship is about. And then we also have the vulture here. So vultures, I'm just seeing that somebody could be seeing vultures. Okay, so slow down and tune in to the wisdom that the vulture's offering you at the moment that you see them. Okay, that's not going to resonate with everybody. But wow, you got 2 cards again. Okay, I was just pulling one for these, but you got 2 coming out. And then we already talked about the fish, the yin and the yang, but I'm also drawn to this dragonfly here, and also the mermaid. Mermaids may be significant to you too. And then butterflies, which represent transformation. Okay, so first card, am I clear on what my soul really wants? Are you clear on what your soul really wants? Take out the shoulds and the limitations. Get out of your head and pay attention to your heart's desires instead. Yes. If you knew it was impossible to fail, what would you do? Wherever you go, go with all your heart. Right there on the heart chakra card. So your soul action today, ask yourself, what is it that your soul really wants? What does your heart crave? And then take one step in that direction. Yes, what do you really want to be experiencing? And then ask yourself, how can you bring that into your life? How can you bring that into your day-to-day? You know, when you get home from that 9 to 5 that you absolutely hate and despise, you still have so many hours in the day where you can just be doing something, connecting with something that lights your heart up and makes your day feel a little brighter. You could get up a little bit earlier and connect with the thing that makes you feel good, that makes you feel held, that makes you feel loved. And through doing that, you're going to be communicating with the universe that this is what I actually want to be doing. And then that's when those opportunities to either provide this change in your job and your career for your relationships is going to open up and show you the way, or that's when the universe is going to show you like, hey, there's this completely new path over here that you could be walking upon to allow you to connect with those things that you really want to be connecting with. Okay, your next card. Am I afraid to be seen? Are you afraid to be seen? I'm thinking the answer is yes, because here we have those messages coming up where you really need to admit to yourself, why are you creating these blocks in your perspective, and just focusing on those spaces where you don't feel supported when you have all the support, the abundance, the tools, the wisdom, the skills, the connections that you need to get yourself out of that mindset. Okay, so how can you allow yourself to be seen? All right, let's see what it says on the back here. The world doesn't want you to hold back any longer. Time to shine your unique light on the world. You are made from love, and from love you are whole. There is no more hiding. There is no more shame. There is only truth. Live naked and free. All right, I'm seeing like somebody going streaking. All right. And what I'm seeing in relation to that, it's like there was once a time in your life where you would have gone streaking down the road, and maybe you actually did. So what happened? You know, why are you afraid to do that now? All right, that's like the energy that I'm getting here, where it's like there's something that you once did, something you once connected with that is connected to your soul truth and your divine wisdom. And you've gone so far away from that, and it's time to return to it. It's time to bring it back. And it's time to run down the street naked with it. You know, it's time to show the world, this is what I really enjoy doing. This is who I am. And I'm going to run wild and free, showing you all just how amazing this makes me feel. All right, so your soul action today for this card here, it says, what parts of me do I hide so I can be socially accepted and fit in? Are you being authentic? Do you allow yourself to be all of you? What do you need to feel so you can be safe to be seen? Journal your answers. All right, love. So take a screenshot of this one. Specifically, Spirit wants you to work through this questions and these answers and journal it out if you can. Definitely being recommended to journal this one out. You can also journal this one out, all right? But Spirit really wants you to work through this one, because this is what's blocking you right now from connecting with those experiences, creative practices, spiritual practices that your heart is trying to call you back towards, okay? All right, love. So those are your messages for today. I thank you so much for tuning in, and I know you're going to be okay. I know you're going to get through this. So whatever it is that lights you up, that you feel deeply passionate about, whether it's something dealing with art, your spiritual gifts, writing, singing, you know, maybe even like working out, fitness routine, creating new systems, building something, architecture, whatever it is, go and do it right now as we close out this reading. Okay, go and do it for 5 minutes. Just give yourself 5 minutes to do it and just see how you feel. See how it makes a change in your life. And then also, Spirit's really guiding me to share, go and journal your answers to this question specifically, but you can definitely do both of them and recommend doing both of them, but this one specifically. All right, Pisces love. So that is it for your reading today. I thank you so much for tuning in. If you enjoyed this reading, please give this video a thumbs up and just know that I'm sending you so much love. Until next time, bye loves.